Hi and welcome to November 2020 Patreon rewards video. So this was a very unique month because I only really got to do two drawings. Well, I didn't even finish one, right? So this is going to be, I think, fairly short video. I did do okay. So here's the rewards are going to be the drawings that I'm going to show you, plus the silver rewards videos. I mean, the silver rewards patrons are going to receive some PSD files that I am not going to be talking or showing here in this video because they are files that I made doing a how-to video last week. So essentially, you're going to get the files from the drawing noses video and the tapering forms video. You're going to actually get the PSD file for both of those videos, the artwork that I did for those videos. So that's what the silver patron rewards is going to be. So if you've seen both those videos, you see the file, you see what I drew there. Those are the rewards for silver patrons. Silver patrons will also get all the bronze patrons rewards, which are these. So let me get started talking about the rewards, which are basically one complete drawing and one work in progress drawing. Okay, so let's begin here. This is the beginning of the work in progress drawing. So you will get this, and this is part of the rewards too. This is a sketchbook page where I thumbnailed what I was going to draw. So I'm still kind of in the drawing mecha mood after having done the drawing of the Gundam last week in my watercolor sketchbook. I decided I wanted to give it another shot, but on a bigger sheet of paper, a full body Gundam, and then when I'm done with it, here's the important thing for patrons. When I'm done with it, I'm actually going to give it away to a patron who has contributed over what was it, over $100 so far, lifetime. So this is one of the first rewards that I'm going to be sending out to the patron that's been has been supporting me the longest, that has reached beyond the threshold. I'm going to be sending them the original art for this. One of the reasons I haven't been doing more of these kinds of drawings is because they take so long. They take the longest to do because they're full illustrations. They have to be worked out. And this is the preliminary sketches for this illustration that I was doing. I'm learning a lot on the way over to doing it. So I'm going to show you the work in progress. This took forever. It's taking me so long to do this. So here we go. And it's really the sad part about it is that when a drawing takes me this long to do, a single drawing takes me this long to do, the energy and the drive to finish it goes away. It just goes away. That's really it's really tough. The only reason I even gotten as far as I have is because of discipline. It's because every time I have a break during lunchtime, which is the only time I work on it for about 30 minutes to an hour, I sit down, I go, I'm going to work on this no matter what. And it's going to be, and I'm going to keep doing it until it's done. It's the only reason I even gotten this far, because of discipline. Not because of any feelings I've got, but because I have a schedule. This is the thing that I'm going to be working on. And then I just keep going until it's going to get done. It's going to get done. So first thing I did was thumbnail the general idea as to what I wanted. First I did this sketch. I didn't like it. Then I did this one. I didn't like it. Then I did this one. I'm like, okay, maybe this is kind of the direction I want to go. Let me improve on it. And so I did this. And then I did a little bit of a color key of in the lighting of what I was going to do. And then I went over and I did it. So let me bring in the some process photos. So this is the drawing once I had it drawn, and the thing about this is it took dang, it took a long time to do the pencil drawing. The pencil drawing, unfortunately, isn't present. I didn't do a draw. I didn't take a photo of the pencil drawing. But as you can see, there's a red rough drawing. So that took a long time just to do the red, right? And then after I finished the red, I spent an extremely long time doing a pencil pass, refining every detail. And there was like a lot of redrawing from the rough, a lot of redrawing from the rough with the pencil, a lot of erasing, drawing again, erasing, drawing again, adjusting, fixing. Like this shoulder was much smaller. This looked bigger than this one, so I had to erase the whole thing and then redraw it again, bigger. One of the reason, the way that I did this was I took a photo of the drawing that I had originally done, and then all I did was once I erased it, I just copied my original drawing again, but bigger. That way I didn't have to look at how I drew it originally. I didn't lose how I drew it originally. If I was doing this digitally, all I would have had to do was select it and increase the size. But because this was done traditionally, I had to redraw it from scratch. So a lot of things that if I was doing this digitally, it would have been much easier actually, because it would have been a lot of adjusting and fixing that would have been much easier doing it digitally. This here is the line, the ink line, the ink drawing. And I did that using my Croquill pen, my Croquill dip pen. I did use colored inks in some areas, like right here. I actually should not have inked this red. After I was inking this in assuming that it was similar. It looked like all my other Gunpla, my little, but because this is usually red, but in this particular model, it's supposed to be black, and and I drew it and I inked it red. I was like, and then here I have a little bit of green here. This should have been green. Here I inked it yellow. Ink smudges. Oh man, so it's so annoying when you're like inking and then you get it you smudge it. But have to live with it. That's just the way traditional works, right? And then like I said, this is the line, the final ink line of the drawing. A ton of detail. This is way more detailed than the previous drawing that I had. This is one of the reasons why it took so long, because I had to not only figure out what details are to put in, but put them in perspective, right? And I was using this. I still haven't built it, but I was using this as my like model sheet. Like I was looking at it at this the pictures of on here and some of the instructions, and I've seen other builds of this model and looking at the photos of the built model, so I could use it as reference, so I know what details need to be where, so that I could draw this. And then I did a watercolor pass, a shadow watercolor pass. So this is the shadow layer. First I did a blue wash, and I did an orange wash, and I did I believe this is I forgot the type of yellow, but this is uh, yellowish. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a little bit more rusty color. But this is orange, and then I did a pass. Tried as best as I could to just do a monochromatic blue shadow layer, and then and I tried to actually add the darkest darks here, and what part's going to be the darkest, what part's shadow, but it has gradients, things like that. So I was trying really hard to try to like make it look as finished as possible in monochrome in only two colors, and I chose blue because blue can be mixed with umber to make dark, to make a black. So and blue is also like the color of the sky. So I was thinking maybe that's the light. I mean, shadows don't have color unless the color is it's picking up the color from the environment. Like it's like mirroring the color of the environment. So that's why I chose blue instead of just like gray. I'm just assuming that the sky is so blue that it's bouncing off of it, right? So that was the logic behind making a blue shadow. And so the whole time I was thinking about this in boxy forms like this. Everything on this side is going to be shadow. Everything in the front is going to kind of be shadow. And everything on the left hand side, our left is going to be white, and it's from the front coming white. So it was a lot of thinking about the lighting. So this is where this is the process drawing here. And so finally, this is where I'm at right now. I haven't finished it. It's still in process, but this is where this is the reward that you're going to get, the work in progress. So here is I added local colors. This is I'm going to have to re-ink this and put like black here instead of red, because now it looks like it's all clashing. It's not working. This right here, this little goatee thingy that pops out of his chin, that should have been red. Like that's where the red line should have been, and this should have been black. So that's my fault. I just recently, a couple of days ago, added this darker sky to make this white pop. It's a little bit all over the place, a little bit blotchy. I don't know if I'm totally against it. I did put some green in here just to add some color besides just being blue. I kind of don't like everything just being one hue, one color. I like to add like interesting, bizarre little extra bits of color in places. This is green, this is yellow. I need to so far, like all of this is okay, but it needs a lot more finessing, right? All of this is going to end up needing highlights. I did these the beam sabers. Originally, I had put purple in here, and then I ended up just blotching white all over it because it didn't look like it was really glowing, and so I just got my white gouache and just poured it on here to fix that, and then I'm adding purple. I'll still work a little bit more on this. I'm not 100% sure this purple is quite working right. It should probably be a little bit softer like this. I'm not sure. I'll keep working on it, see how it is. But if you notice now here, there is now in this blue area where I originally had it was much bluer. Now there's purple coming from this light source. So I added, I started mixing purple into the shadows so that it seemed like the purple. So we still have the blue, but the purple now is mixing with the blue because the light of these beam sabers is influencing this shadow area. So I'm adding, and I'll probably add a little bit of purple in here But that's kind of the idea here. I actually did manage to finish over here the eyes. I may need to darken this area here. You can't see the other eye. This is just this black area right there. I still need to add like some rim lights, some highlights. There's still a lot of work, especially because right here he's standing in stone. So I got to paint the stone that he's standing on. And then once this stone is painted, which is the next part of the plan, I'm gonna do the stone here. After that, then I'm going to add a layer of dust. Like all of this is going to start getting covered up. These legs are going to start getting covered up with these clouds of dust that are going to be billowing out. So that's the plan so far. Like I'm not sure how I'm going to paint it. I'm not even sure how I'm going to paint this ground. All of this is still part of the learning process for me. I'm still kind of working my way through and trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. But again, like all this stuff, it's still not finished. It still needs a lot of work. There's still a lot of finishing touches that needs to be put in order to make everything like really start popping and really working. So, but this is what I've got so far. This is the drawing that I've been working on. Like I said, I only work on it for like an hour or half an hour or sometimes even 15 minutes a day. The drawing itself, the first preliminary drawing took a long time. The second drawing, the pencil final line drawing took a very long time because of all the fixing that I needed to do and adjusting that I needed to do. The inking wasn't that bad. It was pretty quick because all the decisions were already made. All I had to do was make sure to add line work on everything. Unfortunately, there were some inking accidents. I still haven't covered this one up. This one I did cover up a bit with the paint already, so you can't really see. Well, you could sort of see that I fixed it and painted, and there's still a little bit of a blotch right there. Well, I'll fix it. But this one this ink blotch I still haven't fixed, so I'll be fixing that. There's a lot of like there's a lot of like sloppy painting here that I'm going to have to make adjustments for and see how I could improve these little areas that are a little bit too blotchy and crazy. But that's the idea so far. That's where I'm at. There's still a lot of work to do on this piece. So yeah. So and then of course finally I'm going to show you the postcard. This is going to be this month's postcard right here. So there we go. So here's the postcard for this month. Looks like this, and this was inspired by I've been playing some gacha games on my phone. It was kind of inspired by some of the style of the gacha game I was like, oh, this is such a great looking design and style. I want to paint a lady that looks in this style, so I decided to go along and do that with this. So this month's postcard is I'm going to give it away to patron Tim the Dork Knights. So Tim, you get this month's postcard. I will be sending it off soon. And congratulations. Anybody who's a patron supporter, no matter what level, will be put in. Your name was put into the hat. I randomly generate the name, and this time around, Tim the Dork Knights won the postcard. And by the way, if you want to see what the actual painting looks like, this is the size of the painting that I'm working on. The paper's all warped, but here you go. This is it. So it's still got a lot of it still has it needs a bit of work, but it's getting there, and believe me, it'll look better than it does right now. When you're in the middle of painting something, it looks like garbage. It looks so bad on the way to being finished. For example, this painting was a terrible mess for a very long time. I honestly didn't think that I'd be able to make it look anywhere near half decent, especially because this was really frustrating. This paper that I'm using for these postcards is watercolor paper. They're watercolor postcards. They're meant to be for watercolor, and the idea behind watercolor paper is that it's not supposed to rip to shreds when you're painting on it and putting water on it. But this paper started shredding up when I was putting water on it. It was so irritating. Like, I started getting paper coming off and shredding apart, and I might as well not be using watercolor paper if it's going to act like this. It's supposed to be watercolor paper. So you can't see it in this. You can't see that her entire face got completely shredded. Like the paper just came right off and started shredding, and then I started getting even here. It's like this. The fact that you could even see these kinds of things right here is because the paper started falling apart on me. So that was really frustrating. I did not like that at all. I don't like that the paper did that at all. It's not okay. So anyway, here we go. So that's this month's postcard, and so I've only got this drawing, the postcard this month, and this, because I had to take a break in order to do this, and I'm glad I did, because now that I took a break and I did the postcard, I was much more energized when I came back to this. I was like, all right, I had a lot more energy. I'm like, okay, I took a break from this. I did something different. Now I'm going to continue working on this. And I was actually much more enthused to finish up the painting after I finished this postcard. And if you notice in this postcard, I will show you that this is brown ink. This is brown ink. This is black ink, and this is brown ink. And this is red ink right here. Brown ink, brown ink, brown ink, red ink, blue ink. So it's a bit of it's mixed media here. There's brown ink. So there's brown here and here and here. So it's framed with black, but it's got brown ink in very specific areas. So it's not completely watercolor. There's a little bit of ink. There's a little bit of ink in there. Colored inks are great. I love colored inks. They're just the best thing to ink with. It just adds so much more texture and fun for me. All right, so that's it from me. Thank you for being a patron. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been informative as far as even just the mindset that it takes to finish a drawing. You're not gonna, if it takes a long time, the only thing that's gonna help you finish anything is discipline. So by next month, hopefully by mid-month next month, I will be done with this, and I can move on, maybe start working on my comic again. I've taken a break from my comic in order to practice doing something like this, and I think that it was worth my time to do something finished, a finished illustration like this, just as an experience of having done it, seeing how long it takes. This is a very complex type of drawing, just because I'm so not used to drawing mecha like this, especially with this much detail. But it's a great learning experience, and I can't wait to have you look at the finished product, and then somebody will actually own it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.